Line forwarding is another method for handling the call flow at your location. You'll learn how to configure this setting now. Put simply, forwarding allows you to forward a line's calls to another number. For example, if your company uses an answering service after hours, you can use this setting to forward your main line to this service. This is a separate option from having a user set up call forwarding in their presence settings. You can use line forwarding in several places in your call flow, as a destination for inbound numbers, in your auto attendants, business hours, and more. Let's see how this works. Once you've signed in, click Settings to access the admin functions. The forwarding settings are found in the Destinations drop-down menu. Click Forwarding. This account has one forwarding option already set up. You can edit or delete it here and add a new one as well. Let's add a new one now for the mainline's after-hours answering service. First, give the number forwarding a name that describes its purpose, such as after-hours answering service mainline. You can have the line forwarded to a single phone number or to multiple ones. And if you forward the calls to multiple numbers, you can also select the ringing type. Ring All means all phones ring at the same time. Hunt rings one phone at a time sequentially. And First Available rings to a person who is not on the phone. In general, Ring All is the preferred setting, especially when you're forwarding to a single number. While the local extensions is optional, adding a local extension can be a shortcut. For example, if you want users to be able to dial the answering service internally, or transfer calls to the answering service directly. When you use a forwarding whisper, if the receiver is outside of your network, they will hear a brief recorded message before the call connects. For example, call forwarded from Broadvoice. Next, enter the phone number or numbers that you will forward the calls to. If you choose to confirm calls, the person receiving the call will be prompted to press 1 to accept a call or press 2 to decline it. If the user either declines the call or doesn't respond to the prompt, the call will be routed to the failover options you'll configure in just a moment. If you've added a forwarding whisper above, you'll need to enable confirm calls in this section so the recorded message will play. Then, determine your ring and failover settings. The first determines how long the line will ring at the forwarded destination. As a best practice, set it to the maximum number of seconds. This gives your forwarding destination as much time as possible to answer the call before it's routed to the failover destination. Now, you'll choose your failover destination, such as a person, group, or a voicemail box if needed. We've selected a general voicemail box in this example. If you'd like an opportunity to answer the call before it's forwarded, you can enable Answer First. To have calls recorded, click the Enable Call Recording box. Please note, this is a Pro Seat feature. You may also want to add a prefix to the caller ID. It's similar to the forwarding whisper, but instead of a recorded message, the receiver will see an on-screen identifier before the caller's number. For example, typing from BV for call forwarded from Broadvoice will show from BV and the caller's ID information after it. You may want to use the Send Digits option if you're forwarding your line to an auto attendant or IVR. You can pre-program the options a caller would normally press here so they don't have to press those menu options when the call connects. You can use a lowercase w to indicate a half-second delay between option presses or uppercase W for a 1-second delay. Let's say your callers need to be routed to option 3 on the auto attendant. You will need to allow enough time for the call to connect and the choice to be active for the caller. A couple of seconds should do. Add W3 in the field, and the system will wait 2 seconds before dialing 3. The business hours section is optional. You'd only select this box if you need to apply a specific business hour rule to this destination. In most cases, the business hours will be set up on the main account instead. And when that's the case, attaching a rule here may create a looping error within your call routing. Click Save to finish setting up the forwarding option. The new number forwarding is set and ready for use. For this example, the main office number will be forwarded after hours. Let's see how to finish making that connection. Your inbound numbers are found under Resources. The main number on this account routes to a business hour rule. We'll add the after hours number forwarding to that rule so it will work during this company's after hours. Business hours are also found under Resources. And now we'll edit the regular business hours that have been set up previously. Since these hours have already been set up, you'll only need to adjust the destination for when the main office is closed. You'll modify the closed hours destination here. Click Number Forwarding. And click Save to update the business hour rule. Now the main office number will be forwarded according to the business hours rules for this account. Keep in mind how you'll use number forwarding will depend on your call flow needs.